Welcome. This tutorial video will help you to work through the Connecting with Your Core Values assignments. Now, these worksheets are very much processes. So you cannot go through these intellectually. You need to set aside 25 minutes, a half an hour to really experience the process. And let me remind you, this process involves tuning in and experiencing the feelings of your core values, which feels wonderful. These are very enjoyable exercises as long as you give yourself the space to explore them. Now, last week, you got a taste of a couple of core values by working from things that you want. Now, we're going to just pick a core value and explore it in more depth and discover what it means to you and what your current understanding is of that core value. You will need to take 2 to 5 minutes to contemplate each question before you answer it. So again, treat this as a meditative process, not as a written homework assignment. So, choose a core value. You are welcome to choose any. However, I'm going to recommend that you do not work with abundance or freedom, because those are very highly charged and misleading, and there are a lot of attachments associated with them that make them more difficult to appreciate. You can come back and work with those core values once you're confident that you recognize what it feels like to really connect with a core value. So begin by meditating for a moment on that core value. If you pick one of the core values that was prominent from one of your wants, needs, or values worksheets, you can sort of review that experience of what it would feel like to get what you think you want and get yourself tuned back into the place where you're vibrating at that energy and feeling that wonderful, joyous, wonderful experience. Well, everything is joyous, but joy is actually a core value as well. But there's joy in all of the other core values. That's kind of the point. Words stop working. Words do not make it into third kingdom. They do not encompass these feelings. So this is why you want to get to the feeling first. But get to that amazing, wonderful, blissed out feeling. And after you've tuned into that, don't lose touch with it completely, but then engage the intellect and describe it. What does it feel like? Where do you experience it in your body? What does it look like? How do you know when you're experiencing it? Next, you're going to drop your vibration down quite a bit, because you're going to look back on your life and find an experience, a memory, a story, where from looking at the story now, it appears that that quality, that core value, was completely missing. Take a moment and describe that story. Now we're going to go back up. I want you to think of a time in your life when this core value was everything. when you felt this feeling, when it was there, when it was present. Describe that. And also notice how different the world looked. Notice how different your little R reality was when you were experiencing the world from that than when you were experiencing from the story where you thought the core value was absent. Now we get into some deeper work. So, as the instructions say, you're going to question and explore the story where you thought the core value was missing. However, you're not going to tune to the vibration of that story again. You need to stay connected where you are right now, knowing the truth of this core value. That is the most important consideration for the rest of this exercise. So if you feel yourself losing your connection to this amazing feeling, stop. Tune back up to that high vibration and then continue. So, staying connected to that very high vibration. Look back at the story of when you thought the core value was missing and consider specifically where you thought it was missing and why you thought it was missing. Next, consider what you expected it to look like. So you think it was missing because you didn't see it. So if it were there, what do you think it would have looked like in that story? What do you think would have needed to happen in that story for you to feel like, oh yeah, there's the love, or there's the power, or there's the joy? Of course it's there. This is where the magic happens. Reconnect with the vibration of the core value. Enjoy feeling this wonderful high vibration. Remember the truth that this is always present. This is God. Beauty is always present at all times in all things. Joy is always present at all times in all things. All we can do is fail to notice it. Knowing that that's what happened. Knowing the truth that all that happened was you failed to notice the presence of that core value in that story. Go back and look at the story and see if from this place, from this truth, can you find the presence of that core value even when you thought it wasn't there. This can be challenging at first, so you may not find it. If you don't find it, kind of explain where you looked and why you didn't think it was there. If you do find it, explain how you found it. Tell the truth about that story. Don't do more than one of these a day. As wonderful and good feeling as this process is, you're taking your vibration on a roller coaster ride with it. So only do one of these a day.